Seeing the word immersive before theatre can have as many people rushing for the hills as it does running for the box office. At its broadest definition, immersive describes the sort of theatre where the audience play an active role. Not active as in the Darren Brown audience participation style that may influence your choice of seat.
So look, in your own words, what's the confession?
Caught wanking in detention.
What? One more time.
Caught wanking in detention.
Active as in the sort of show where you probably don't get a seat at all.
People all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
You do get to sit down in Viola's room, the latest such piece by Punchdrunk, to envelop their cavernous home at the Carriageworks in Woolwich. You sit for a couple of minutes where you're given your last chance to exit if the thoughts of the upcoming darkness makes you anxious. And then you sit in a church for another minute or so, about half an hour later. Other than that, you'll be standing and you'll be walking barefoot, whilst watching very little, really. If you're able to accept this shattering of basic expectations of a night at the theatre, then you're in for a surprisingly delightful and thrilling treat. This prejudice many people seem to have for the word immersive may come from the word ubiquity in describing shows at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. It suggests actors struggling to maintain character-appropriate improv and ill-thought-out pre-shows, handing out photocopied programmes and brandishing torches to try and direct some poor pensioners to their seats. Immersive is often found to be preening in self-adulation with its brethren, site-specific, performance art, experimental and experiential. Watching immersive theatre can sometimes feel like interrupting someone when they're having a wank.
What's the confession?
Caught wanking in detention.
Luckily, however, Punchdrunk aren't wankers. That's a quote I'm sure they'll be clamouring to use on their future advertising. For the past 25 years, this British company has consistently created pieces that are enjoyable and accessible for everybody. They put on shows at the Big Chill Festival, Under the Tunnels at Waterloo, in New York, Shanghai, Deptford. They have an outreach programme where they put on work in local communities and schools. And in 2022 they took over the Carriageworks in Woolwich to recreate the battlegrounds of Troy. Frankly, if you're ever going to give this sort of immersive experience a chance, don't do it in Edinburgh. Do it here. You know you're in safe hands. Now I've built up that sense of scale, it may surprise you to know that Viola's room is very, very, very small. And there's very little to actually see. There's not even a cast. Well, at least there's not a live cast.
Let me tell you a story from long, long ago. Don't be afraid. Sometimes you have to trust the dark.
Helena Bonham Carter has recorded the story, which she whispers through your £600 Bowers & Wilkins headphones. Based on The Moonslave, a short gothic horror story by Barry Payne, it's a simple enough tale of the macabre. Viola is a princess. She is orphaned. She is betrothed to a prince who does not love. She escapes and finds solace when she dances by the moon. Promises her heart to the moon. She dances with the devil. Follow the light, it says on the poster and on your ticket. And this is more than just a byline. It's a phrase you'll hear an awful lot through your headphones.
Follow the light, follow the light.
Sometimes accompanied by hurry up.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Once you enter the space, small lights glow to direct you along the path to follow, to live her story as you hear it. They first take you to Viola's room, Natch, where you lie on a bed. And that's the first time you're then put into pitch black darkness. They guide you through the clothes in her wardrobe, and then through endless mazes, stopping at various points as the story dictates. But for most of the time, the lights are the only thing that's visible. You can easily get distracted by the story as you find your eyes wandering, looking for where the next light is going to glow and lead you on. At times you feel curtains billowing around you. At times you feel the sand coming through your toes. You get a strange sense you're not alone. Is there someone with you? Is that the devil's presence? But no, it's not. It really, really isn't. If you're concerned about the darkness that you experience, you should be. The pep talk you're given before you start your journey, that's a literal journey, not an emotional one, explains that there will be no jump scares. And this isn't some kind of cruel joke. Nothing jumps out at you. There are no echoing screams in the darkness. Nothing drops on your head. The most anxious moment for me was when they explained how to use the panic button they provide. You can't give me a panic button and then expect me not to panic. But at times you are in complete and absolute darkness. No low night light in a corner, no distant green light of a fire exit sign. It is disorientating. There are times when you lose your sense of space and your surroundings and you're not sure there's anyone in your party still near you. And when you think the walls may be closing in, you're not imagining it, they really are. So you're never in danger, and there's CCTV watching you throughout. But if you are of a particularly sensitive disposition, I would think twice before booking tickets. The show's running relies on such tight timings that any interruption will cause many interruptions. If you have a bad time, it's not just you who will have a bad time. I would just say, know yourself. Make the right choices. Assuming you're alright with the darkness, the story itself, for a horror story, is actually rather gentle. It's told with a quiet rhythm that becomes pleasantly repetitive. Listening starts to feel like you're practicing some kind of macabre mindfulness. Though after a while it becomes a bit expected. By the third time we were told to hurry along the maze, it seemed a little anticlimactic. Towards the end I found myself hoping there would be a jump scare after all, but there wasn't. Which I'm glad of. No, really. I think. And then we follow the light, and oh, it's the exit light. And you realise it's finished. And you're being directed to a box that contains your shoes and socks. And you're returning your headphones. Damn! And you're leaving. And it catches you by surprise. It feels like playing an old cassette tape that clicks mid-track to signify it's come to the end of side one. But sudden and abrupt. No big finish. No ta-da! Ta-da! Just a click, whir, and it's done. This sense of being slightly let down, I think would be different if you experienced this with other people. I went on my own to press night. And Punchdrunk are pretension-free masters of this art. Given the chance, they will erase any negativity you may have about the word immersive. But I would urge you to go with friends. 5 friends, ideally, so you can all go together in a group of 6. Go with family, mum, dad, the kids. Kids, assuming they're okay with the darkness, will love this. And then go to the bar afterwards and talk about it. Discuss it. You're not allowed to speak at all during the performance, and I think that's what added to my general malaise as I left. I hadn't had that feeling you get in the theatre of being buoyed by other people's reactions to what you're seeing. To fully appreciate the experience, this is an experience that must be shared. So while I do wholeheartedly recommend Viola's Room easily, for me, I left with the feeling that I'd seen Punchdrunk, but without the expected punch.